I want to watch a match today. I will subscribe to the service right now on Hotstar, and it should work fine for me. I don't want to wait. I should not book a service today. It will be activated tomorrow. No, I don't want that. This means I need a very fast computing power, which is not dependent on human beings, because there will be hundreds of people who will opt for this service at 11:59. If you want to book an iPhone, you will have a huge traffic coming to apple.com, to airtel.com. I need software which can manage this. I need an AI which can manage this. What is AI? A software which is as good as human, which is superior than human when it comes to compute power. They can handle multiple threats at a time where humans cannot. So what is really happening today, if you understand, is the volume that we are talking about data, the volume of operation that is happening today in IT is very high. And you need machines to take care of it. Humans cannot do it. Humans can do it, it will be very costly, and it will depend on people. Floods, wars, COVID, other things will come in future also. But machines will not get impacted by COVID. Machines will not get impacted by floods. They will continue till the time they have power. So the business will continue as it is. Gone are the days where you have to visit to a bank to do a service. Today you want to do transfer money. Why I wait tomorrow? I do it right now. I'll open an app. I'll transfer it right now. So is there any human being in the back end doing this comparison from one bank to another bank? No, it is done by programs. And these programs are machine learning and AI based programs, because they are fault tolerant. They have 100 cases which they have seen. Today, if I do a transaction on my debit card more than 50,000, I get a call directly. So do you think somebody is sitting there and watching me, Ravinder, what are you doing? No. There are softwares which will see, oh my God, he has done a transaction of which is more than what his average is. Boom, you get a call saying that, Ravinder, did you make this payment? Wow, fantastic. I'm happy. You are taking care of me. Yes, it was me, but I'm happy that if somebody tries to cheat me, you guys are there to inform me that somebody is using my card. This is what I want. Seamless connectivity. I want app. I want which should work all the time. I don't want to see a downtime. Gone are the days where customer used to say, okay, you take a downtime of 3 hours and then do a software upgrade. I don't want that. I want it to be run in a pipeline. That's why we have CI/CD coming into picture. Dynamic changes. Things are changing on the go. Suddenly COVID happens, suddenly Ukraine war happens, suddenly X happens, suddenly Y happens. The things are very dynamic. I want our programs to be robust to handle those dynamic situations. And that is why we want programs to handle things than humans. Last but very important is do it yourself. Today, by the way, I'm happy to see you guys online now. At least I know I'm talking to some faces. Thanks for turning on your camera. Now, last but very important is do it yourself. Today's customer is an advanced customer. They know how to operate computer. They know how to operate apps also. So I don't want to go to a shop to change my plan. I will do it on my phone right now. I don't want to go to a shop to say, you know what, how to activate an eSIM. Give me a program which will help me to do it. I'll do it myself. I'll talk to a chat rather than talking to a human being. Why? Because it's ease. I'm staying at home. So this change in human psychology has made business to think that, we are no more people dependent. We need to have high processing machines, system software in place, which can take the role and run the business for me. If business is running, I'll make money. If I make money, I'll invest more. I'll give you better services. When I give you better services, customer is going to stay with me. Now with this, what I really want to talk about is generative AI. Today's customer is the king, and generative AI is saying, I promise you to provide you better customer experience and retention. This is what business is looking for. We are not going to generative AI because it is great. We are going to generative AI because automations, your artificial intelligence has got capability to do things which are actually capable of future, which are capable to keep my customer happy. Now, if you look into now, what is the impact of this artificial intelligence on today's world? If you talk about human, there have been 4 major transformations or changes. One was industrial revolution. When industrial revolution happened, we started to manufacture at a rapid pace. Industries were set up. People moved to cities to work on in that. Then automobile coming into picture, where we said the distances can be reduced. The things can reach early. Whatever you produce in one city can go to the other city. You can have same food in different parts of India, same different part of continent. Then happened digital revolution, where we said, everything then can be done on computers. You don't need to go outside. You can sit at home. You can learn, cook, eat, whatever you want to do. Now, the next is 21st century, which is artificial intelligence. Now, this artificial intelligence is going to be a game changer. Why? Because you are going to talk about machine taking over us. What really is happening here in the last one is man is handing over control to machines. There'll be nobody sitting at 12 o'clock in the midnight talking to you regarding issue with the internet. You're talking to a bot. Bot is a programmed bot, which is a machine talking to you. You want to activate the money, you want to transfer the money, there's no banking person sitting with whom you're giving the check. It is a machine who is taking your amount, transferring into a different account. Within 2 seconds, the money is also credited into a different account. This is where you are handing over the manual task to a machine. And there is a risk, there is a fear that machine will take over humans. And then machine will rule us. However, there is also a different discussion happening how to control the machines, because at the end of the day, humans are only making these machines. Now, let me dive into what is generative AI. You all have learned, I have been talking about generative AI a lot. Now, but what is the basic generative AI? Before I go there, one thing is very important, is data science. The whole automation, the whole artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning is all based on data. If you don't have data, we should skip this session only. Data is the oil which runs the whole generative AI or your AI today. Now, science of data science is classified into a small component called artificial intelligence. And what we do in artificial intelligence is we lend our processes, our task, we automate them and hand it over to machine. So if you have 4 ways to handle a task, you will write a program to handle those 4 tasks. That is artificial intelligence, where machine, you give an option 1, 2, 3, 4, machine says, yes, I can handle it. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is where a machine will start learning based upon the data I feed. 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks is okay, but I will give you a historical data of 2 years. And then you read from the trends, you analyze the analysis, you do probability analysis, and then you say, you know what, I can now understand your behavior patterns. Ravinder, I should not call, I give you 4 cases. If Ravinder spent more than 50,000 rupees, we should give him a call asking whether you have spent this money or not. But when I introduce machine learning, the machine will see, let's not call Ravinder. Why? Because we have seen often during Diwali, he does a lot of shopping, and that is more than 50,000. So we understand last year also he did the same shopping. So let's not raise this flag. Ravinder is doing the shopping. So I'll not get this call. But the machine is monitoring me. I might get an SMS. We understand you have done this transaction. If not, give me a call. Good. I am happy that somebody is monitoring me and they're not calling me at 2 o'clock when I'm in a Dubai airport. That Ravinder, you spend money. Arey yaar, I spent the money. But why you're calling me? I'm having an ISD call now. Don't do this. I'm frustrated. But on the other hand, if I get an SMS saying that Ravinder, we know you're traveling abroad, we have given you a special XYZ, we are happy for that. I'm happy. Why God, this is company I should work for. Now, what is deep learning? It is all, neural networks and all, where you start layering it. Now, I'll give you an example. When I look at you guys, I see this is a meeting room. Now, when I say it's meeting room, is because my eyes can capture this view. It goes back to my mind, and it goes through multiple level of neurons where I see, okay, this is not a hall. This is a meeting room. This is not a classroom because I have images of it. That means I am doing multiple level of scanning and then studying what it is. This is how your neural network works. And if I can train my computer program to look into a mirror and say, you know what, you are not wearing a mask. Why? Because I take the snapshot, go back to my neural network, scan through multiple images and see, you know what, these are different faces. And one which is having mask is this one. Okay, let me tell him you are not wearing a mask. There are softwares. I went to a conference last year for TEDx Pune, and they had a mood analyzer. So we'll get a green when the mood of whole crowd is good. It will give you a red when people are looking lazy. How does it do that? It has hundreds of cameras in that room, which will scan the faces, go back to their neural network, look for the images of happy faces, look for images of sad faces, look for image of lazy faces, and then say, you know what, maximum people have lazy faces. Boom, everybody is lazy in this room. So this is how your neural network works. Now, where does the generative AI come into picture? Generative AI is a science where or implementation where I am creating my own cases, my own content. Till the time of machine learning, till the time of neural network, you have data and you analyze this data. Data volume can be high, and based upon that, I am telling things are good or bad. But the moment I can make my own content based upon what you're telling me is a game changer. This means once I put a generative AI based software into picture, I train it on ABC, it can learn A to Z based upon the observation it has, based upon and the analysis it can do. And this is why generative AI, when I talk to people, you can convert an audio into a video. You can do text generation, you can do video generation, you can do content generation. And that is why you see a lot of AI based programs. Why? Because they are capability of generating their own content without human intervention. And this is game changer. I don't have to spoon feed you now. And this is how your ChatGPT is working on. Everybody is saying ChatGPT is fantastic because it is creating on its own. There are so many tools available in the market. There's a pdfreader.com.ai. You put your PDF there and you can interact with the PDF now. Which means, for example, if I upload my resume in the PDF reader, now I can talk to myself. I can say which year you passed your high secondary, it will give you the year. Where I am located today, it will give you the location. You don't have to read the whole PDF now. You ask question to the PDF. Now this means in today's IT world, if I want to know the function XYZ, I don't have to read the manual of 100 pages. I can simply type, tell me how to fix this bug. It can read and tell me how to fix this bug. Somebody might have not asked it in the past also. So it is giving me summarization. How many of you have used ChatGPT? Not for your assignments, but generally, have you used it?
Almost everyone using ChatGPT, sir.
Yeah, and what is the difference between your ChatGPT and Google? What difference do you see?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, sir. On Google, you can search a topic and there will be multiple sites available in order related to that particular topic. But when you search something on ChatGPT, then there is some specific that is auto-generated as per your requirements. So that is a major difference that we seek.
So thank you for that. So basically what you are saying is the content is generated on runtime. And it is a content, it's not a links. If you go to Google, it will give you 100 of links, right? And out of the 100 links, I don't know how much are relevant and where the information lies. But if you ask this question to ChatGPT, it will give you the summarized view of what you're looking for. So how did it process it is? It has a huge library called as LLMs of all the documentation. And these LLMs are data stores of the information. Now, if you have used ChatGPT 4.0, it's a paid version now. It has internet capability where till 3.5 it is trained. So if you go to ChatGPT today and ask the question, what is weather today in Pune? The answer will be, I don't know, because I am trained till June 2022. Now, what does it mean? It means that your ChatGPT works on an LLM, which is a long language model, which has data till June 2021. Whatever has happened in Wikipedia, internet, documentation, audio, video, whatever it could, they have been stored there. And now whenever we are asking these questions, it goes to that store, uses a RAG and produces results for us. And these results which it is producing, these results are based upon the various algorithms that are being used in generative AI. And that is how it is empowering all of us. Now, I quickly go and tell you how this generative AI thing came into picture. It is not started today. The work on generative AI started way back in 2018. And we started with something called as parameters, 110 parameters. Now, what is 110 parameters? If you, I don't know how many of you have used this. There is a machine called as Coinstar. You put any coin there, it will take the coins, sort the coins, give you a number and the total. Now, how does it work? Every coin has a unique weight. That means 1 rupee coin has a different weight, 2 rupees coin has a different weight, and they have different sizes also. So what does the coin store machine does is it evaluates every coin in different parameters. And each parameter has a weight associated. So for example, if a coin is 2 grams, 2-gram coin is 1 rupee coin. So the weight is 1. And I'll put it in stack A. Then I get the second coin, which is 5 rupees coin. It is smaller in size, but the weight is 4 grams. So it should go to 5 stack C and weight should be 5. So it is taking the parameters for everything, then assigning weight to it, and based upon the weight is giving you the results. And when we started our OpenAI first version, it was having 110 parameters, 110 million parameters. That means it has got thousands and millions of objects, of which it has got 110 million parameters already stored in it. And when you are looking for a, show me a cat with the black face, it actually goes back into the LLM, look for multiple parameters of different elements which are black in color, look for something called as cat. It has attribute for the cat. It will bring up the cat, attach something which you are looking for, and show it to you. And this is how the whole thing works in the backend. Now, as you look into this slide, we have been evolving all the time with different models that come into the picture. Now, one difference between ChatGPT and your Google Bard is Google Bard by default is online, which means if you ask question to Google Bard today, what is temperature today in Pune? It will tell you it is sunny today, because it has capability to connect to internet. Whereas your ChatGPT 3.5 is not internet connected. 4.2, which is enterprise version has our internet connectivity. So this is the basic difference. However, these both are having different models on which they operate. We have MUM model in place, we have Bard, we have Azure model also coming into picture, which make them unique and versatile for all of us. Now, what is the difference between my existing automations and generative AI? I was part of one discussion this week only. Somebody showed me something. I told him, this is not generative AI. This is a what you call as RPA. He said, no, this is generative AI. Now, generative AI, remember, it is a dynamic content generation. Content can be a program, content can be a scan, content can be a picture. On the other hand, something which is defined and fixed is your RPA, robotic programming that you have. So what really changes for us is the dynamics of it. Now, if today handling a customer query over a chat is your RPA, your bots are there, which are still today, which were there last year also, which are there last year also. So how it's becoming generative AI? What if I tell you, can you tell me difference, how much I have paid to Airtel in last 1 year? Is my question. The chat will say, sorry, I am transferring you to the customer care rep. And then the rep will answer you, looking into the different data models, looking for the data and tell you. But if we have a generative AI enabled chat, the chat can tell you the total amount, saying that, yeah, I'll go back, check Ravinder, his bills for last 12 months, do a sum and tell, you have paid 4,000 rupees throughout there for us. How much data I have used in last 3 years and how much is on the internet for social media applications? This is my question, right? I'm sitting at 11 o'clock and I'm thinking, how much social media do I use? I can check for my phone, but let me see how much I'm using on my phone when I'm traveling. I can go to the bot and ask this question. Bot will answer me this question. Now the bot can be smart enough to recommend, which is recommendation engine also. It can tell us that, Ravinder, since you're using a lot of internet, the plan you have used is not the right one. Let me recommend you a new plan based upon your need. So what really happens is my bot is doing upselling also. This is power of generative AI, where your simple bot, which was doing yes, no, good and bad, is turning into a real person, asking you a few questions, and based upon those prompts, generating a new offer for you. Now, this is a game changer for me, right? Today, if you go to a bot, say, let's, again, a very sensitive topic, is all about, say today you have a bot, which is a learning bot. Today, the bot will tell you what? You want to learn about machine learning, these are 4 links, learn from here. What if ChatGPT is a classic learning bot, right? You go and ask it, what are the top 4 machine learning algorithms? It will give you line by line. Can you help me to generate a PPT? Yes, it can help you to generate a PPT. And this is where the difference comes. If I'm able to generate something on the runtime, that is the whole work. Now, LLM, which I talk about, the data stores of our whole generative AI. Where is the data coming from that? One is the training data, which is being stored in Google, in generative, in your OpenAI from years. So what they took was, they took the whole data available on internet, be your thesis, be your videos, be your audios, everything. They trained the model and put it there. So all the data that we have in Earth got trained there. Second is the language patterns. What we have done with LLM is capable of understanding your linguistic, your phrases, your sentences, the association between the words. So whatever you are typing, LLM can correlate the context of it. Very important part of generative AI is context setting. In which context you are asking me? The context setting, in what context? Can you tell me the phone number of a hospital at 12 o'clock? Is it urgent? So I'll not give you 100 numbers, I'll give you 2 numbers. And I'll make sure those numbers are important. Can you tell me emergency contact for police, for a fire? So I can give you 2 contacts. I should not give you 100 contacts. I can give you alternate numbers. It is emergency. So I don't want to do a bigger search this time. LLM typically, like your chat GPT, if you ask it what is generative AI, it will keep typing for pages and pages. But I'm at emergency, I don't want pages, I want a specific information. This context setting helps us using the language pattern that we have. Vector enablement. Vector DB are called the DBs of artificial intelligence. Vector DBs are called as artificial intelligence DBs. What they really do is they help us to convert everything into 0 and 1. Now the data that you have today is highly unorganized and unlabeled. Data is coming from where? From your tables, from your experiences, from your voice. So the best way to read anything on this earth is convert it into numbers. So VectorDB is converting everything into numbers, storing it based on the references and the association. And whenever you make a query based upon the mapping and the weight, it will give you the best responses. So LLMs are converting your unstructured unlabeled data into the labeled data in VectorDBs. Contextual understanding. It understands the phrases, voices, and the context you're talking about. If I say, what is the weather today? It is evident if I'm located in Punjab, I'm asking for Punjab only. So the contextual information is something that it is understanding. Generation process. One thing very important about LLM is generation process and fine tuning. LLMs are self-learning models. What really happens is an incremental learning model. It has capability to learn from the result it's giving to you. It will ask you for thumbs up, thumbs down, and you're questioning that you're asking. For example, if I ask you, tell me the top 10 colleges in Pune. You gave me. Okay, tell me the top 10 colleges for computer science in Pune. I gave you response. Okay, how to go to COEP. Now this means you are refining your search. I am giving you the best answer. And I'm also learning from you, what is your trend of asking? How do you prompt? So it is learning from the experiences that user is giving it and effectively storing in a vector DB. So next time when I ask questions, it knows how Ravinder asks questions, and the response will be much better than asking 5 questions. I'll give an answer in 2 questions only. So this capability to learn from the prompts which are giving is an incremental learning, and this learning makes your LLMs a living data legend for us. Now, basic operation that we do in LLM is search. Like you all do search. When you do a search, it will classify the data. What search are you trying to do? Because LLM has a huge data. So I should convert everything that you do into multiple small segments and classify what exactly are you looking for. Generate or cluster. Then a cluster. When I classify, when I cluster. Then I cluster, what are these? What is the relevance of these data? Then I generate, then I extract, and then I rewrite and summarize. So when I rewrite means whatever I have learned from the past, I will unlearn and reread and learn again. So what really is happening is you are extracting data, either you are summarizing data, or you are clustering data, or you're searching data. These are the operations that I provide that I do with LLM, and this is classified by using these operations. Now, again, coming to the data models again. Traditional AI, what was happening is you process one kind of information That will label information and label data will come out. So what does label data mean is you have standardized the data. If I enter the whole data for an academic college, I will get the all data for the academics only, because my model is trained on academic data only. But with LLM, what is happening? You just give me the data. Today I get a data for an academic college. From that data, I can extract your social data, your academic data, your data regarding your health, data regarding your interest, data regarding your career. So I am able to use any unlabeled data, process it, and diversify that data. So I don't have to have a different standardized data put into my system to get a results. So it is changing day by day. Now, I have talked a lot about LLM, about generative AI. What is scope of this generative AI work that we're talking about? First of all, improve customer experience. Customer will have their own way to interact with the system without humans to get the best out of it. If I want to learn something from a library, this is called a human library. By the way, there's a concept called coming up as human library, where people, it is typically in Japan, where learned people sit in front of you. You can ask their questions and doubts and they will clarify it. But these human libraries are not getting replaced by generative AI libraries. Why? Because they have vast knowledge. I can ask you any question which I'm looking for and I'll get a right answer at that time. Create content on the fly. For example, I want to roll out a new offer for a telecom company on the fly. I don't need to think too much. I will use generative AI to generate an offer on the runtime, get approval from my management and generate it. So the time to market will reduce for me. Facilitate client service. The clients will have a direct interaction with the software. They'll understand the plan. Business proposals can be done on the cost. Boost personalization. Today, everybody wants personalization. People want to buy shoes with their logos on that. People want to buy t-shirts with their name. People want cars with their name on that. So I can give you that personalization because I know all data about you, and this data can be used to generate that personalization for you. Also, one thing important can be done by this is I can develop new products based upon the need, because I know more based upon your data. What kind of things are you looking for? What kind of plans that student need? What kind of product does a student need? Because I have seen what you use on internet, what are you looking for internet, and based upon that, I can launch a product which is actually needed for you guys. Now, what are the different areas where we can have generative AI in place? Content creation, we talked about it, customer service, legal, HR processes, data analytics, sales, new products, fraud detection and coding. These are the areas where we see generative AI is going to take over a lot of work, because these are all predictive models which were based on humans. Now, this application of generative AI in these fields can generate a lot of new processes which can be used. Now, when I talk about generative AI, what are the advantages? First is task automation. A lot of tasks that humans are doing today in IT or in other world, for example, where when you go to apply for a visa or whenever you go to apply for a loan, there is a lot of time spent on your document verification. What if I tell you there is a scheme today, there's a generative AI software today, you scan your document, send it to it, within 2 seconds it will tell you whether your document is accepted or not. So your whole processes, which is for 3-4 months, goes into 2 minutes. So the task automation will help us to do everything at whatever time we want to do. This will be very important for us. Second is cost saving. Today, I need people to do these basic checks. Tomorrow, all the softwares will be trained enough to take care of these basic checks and these tasks. Enhance decision making. Today, I am making decision based upon my gut feeling and some data. But tomorrow, I can have generated a data view of multiple thousand customers because I can process that data. So my decision making will be more based upon data driven, and data driven efforts are good. Effortless content improvement. Since LLM are evolving all the time, my content will keep improving over time. Today, if I'm able to handle 100 customers on my dynamic chat, tomorrow it will be 1,000 because I keep evolving with data that is being fed to me. Fast content repurposing. Whatever you create one time can be reused multiple times because machines are not like humans. Today, I tell you, the biggest problem with industry is we don't collaborate and co-create. We work in silos and we create things on and on. But machines doesn't have those feelings. if I create something, others can also use it. And if machine is labeled that there is something existing as a software, it will try to reuse it multiple times. Some tools that we have in generative AI, if you have used, ChatGPT, we all have used. Midjourney is there for your videos, for your visuals. Character GPT is again for creating characters. Your picture is there which you can use. There are other tools also which I will talk about. Now, this is one model which I want to talk about, is where we are generating a data model. So what really is happening is, when you had a simple model is, please write a story about cat. This is a prompt which I give to it. Generative AI will start writing about the cat. Why? Because it has a data about cats in it, stored in it. How cat look, what they do, it starts writing about it. Now, if I give about the picture of the cat, again it will go back, look for a data, pick up the picture and show it to me. If I ask for audio, it will go up, look for the audio, give it to me. Why? Because, and if I ask, show me a talking cat. Now, generative AI has got all the data in LLM. It will just combine the content for me and show you a talking cat, because it has capability to merge the data together and show and summarize whatever you are looking for. Again, ChatGPT, some examples, how does it look like? DALL-E is one. DALL-E 2 is a tool which is used for graphics designing. Now you see, I asked this question: can you show me a dinosaur with human writing on it? It can develop. Can you show me how does Galileo look like if it was using computers? The image was generated. So what really is happening? Your creativity, which you're thinking, is now visualization, and on tip of your fingertips, you type it and you can generate them. So this is giving you more visualization. One more thing is GitHub CoPilot. Now, a lot of you will be encouraged to do programming. There's a concept called as peer programming, where two people work together and develop a code. So what we feel is, when two people work together on a code, it is non-biased and it is more logical. So GitHub has come up with your Copilot or assistant that helps you to write the code. So if you say create array, it will show you the class, which class you have to use. It will show you the different parameter that you have to pass, and it can write it for you. Similarly, if you go to Google Gmail today, you start writing the email, it starts showing you what can be the next word for that email. So this is how your Copilot are coming into picture. Now, generative AI also has got some limitations. And what are these limitations? Limited knowledge. Generative AI, if you have trained me on animals, I can only know about animals. I cannot know about law, because I can create new animals from the data I have, but I cannot talk about law because you never trained on me. And this is concept called as hallucination. Now, hallucination, I'll give you a simple example. So let's imagine an LLM, which is long language model. I trained it only on animals. So whenever you will ask me a question, I will only dig into my animal part of it and show you the results. Now, somebody asked the question, show me picture of a moon. Now, I went back and I see, what is moon? I don't know anything about moon. So you will get a prompt, tell me more about moon. What do you mean by moon? I tell it, okay, moon? Moon is round, white in color, and some black spots. Now, this prompt goes back to the machine, and machine searches in its database, vector database, and the LLM, and finds that there is something white in color, which is your panda. It has got black spots, and generally it looks like a round object only. Okay, it will believe, okay, moon, when Ravindra is saying moon, he refers to panda. So it will show you a picture of a panda. I start laughing, but the machine is under hallucination that I know what is panda. So that false knowledge the machine generates, and it stores that whenever somebody will ask me what is moon, I will show panda. So this is data poisoning. So what happened here was that I gave a wrong data, and I told her, yes, panda is actually moon. So machine starts believing that anything asking for moon will be a panda only. And I will use the same reference for my future data analytics also, which is again poisoning your whole data. Now, limitations, biasness. Now, 80% of data that we have in today's world is biased. For example, when we talk about a poor guy, suddenly you feel about a black person. Why? Because we are biased. Again, there's a gender biasness. When you say strong, we feel men, because we think like that. Now, same data is fed into here, LLM. So whatever data you have fed, it is being used. So if you say India, maybe it will think poor country, because all the articles from West always refer to as a very poor, very illiterate. So it will always believe that India is a poor country. So this biasness is there based upon the input that you have given to it. Errors. Sometimes, like everything, it is not bulletproof. There can be errors, and these errors like hallucination is there, data poisoning is there, which can cause issues. One important is coming into picture is copywriting. Now, what really has happened is we have taken all the data from internet stored in our LLM, and we are using it. Now, some of the data is copyright data. Sometimes what is happening, recently there was a case on OpenAI for the content they are showing online. Because this is my data, how can you use it? But somewhere it has existed in internet in a pirated version, and I have used to train my LLM. So the copywriting is going to be error. And the last but very important is human touch. How much you trained machines, they don't have feelings. Some responses are dynamic in nature, which come from humans only. So that part will be always missing, and that human touch will never be coming from the machines, which we human, while interacting with them, will always miss. You are traveling, you have half a kg extra weight. Human might say, okay, it's okay, you can take it. But machine means no. You cannot take extra weight, you have to pay for it. I will never get this good customer experience. Whereas humans used to adjust it. Okay, there are two passengers together, you can share the weight, or you can take something in your bag in the check-in. This will not happen. For machine, it's either true or false. There is nothing called as in between or what we call jugaad in between. Now, future is very promising for generative AI. Why? Because all the data in LLMs. So first of all, LLM you don't need to create. If you are creating your own LLM, you are creating your own you're digging a well, whereas you have the whole ocean in front of you. LLM coming from your chat GPT, from Google, from Amazon are huge. You cannot create something against them, but you can create your customized LLMs which are industry based. For example, telecom. I come from telecom. I can create my own rich knowledge of telecom, which can be used on top of the LLMs. Customer don't want very. See, if I am integrating generative AI into, say, your college. Why we come to college today, even today, is because my teachers have got specialized skills of how to write exam, how to make you understand. Chat GPT will never understand that. Chat GPT never understand whether you understand in Punjabi, Hindi, or English. It doesn't have the examples which can be real life to you from your college, from your campus. These can come from teachers. Teacher understand your background. So this understanding of the context, where the student is coming from, what is their background? Not everybody is studying in Harvard. Not everybody is coming from ICSE. People are coming from state boards also. So how do I teach them? Is an art that teacher knows. But if teachers can create their own set of learnings, plug it into your chat GPT enterprise version, now it will learn. Oh my God, when I'm talking to students from Punjab, they understand examples which are more correlated to them. Whereas same example may not work for North India, South Indian, because they don't have those examples to talk about. For example, if you talk today, something that comes to mind when you talk about North India is agriculture, fruits, hills, mountains. When you talk about South India, it's all about oceans. It's all about sea. It's a different world. Now, this context of example giving for a teacher is something that I learned based upon the geography by my local population. And this is the local set of LLM that has to come in picture. If you look into this picture, that is what it's talking about. Your enterprise knowledge has to be plugged into your global knowledge, and this is where the result will come into picture. For somebody who wants to be a generative AI or AI engineer, life is very simple. First, learn to be a user, how to use this as a prompt engineer. You learn how to prompt it, then become super user, where you know how to feed the information to this LLM. Then you become a developer because you know the models, and then you become a research scholar. Now, something that everybody is feared about, will generative AI or AI take away the jobs? The answer is no. Because if you look in today, there is a growth happening in research area, customer engagement, human resource, and technical and IT. And if you look into what is planned for 24 and 25, it is quite encouraging. Technology is still there. Internet of Things is still there. Encryption, cybersecurity is still there. That means these markets are going to evolve only. And this evolution is going to generate more jobs for us, but for the skilled labor, not for an unskilled labor. Now, what are the skills that are on rise? This will surprise you. You might be thinking, Python programming, other skills are on the rise. No, answer is no. Creative thinking, analytical thinking, technical literacy, curiosity. These are the skills that are on the rise. This data is coming from Harvard. Okay, so they are claiming people who are creative thinkers, because you need people to be creative now. People are bored of using those old apps. I want something revolutionized. People want something that is near to their heart. And for that only, you need to have the creative thinking. Now, roles that are going to change, there's a shift from a vanilla role. I was a chartered accountant. Now you can be a AI-driven chartered accountant. So what we talk when we talk to our employees also is that artificial intelligence is not going to take away the jobs. It is the people who can use artificial intelligence in their jobs are going to have the job in future. So the roles that we have today are going to get clubbed. Why? Because a lot of manual work that you do today, a lot of analysis that you do today is no more needed, because machine will do it for you. You have to do the decision making. You have to do training the module. You have to be industrial or domain expert, and that is why the roles will elevate. They will be extended roles across the board. So rather than having one DBA, one infra, one security, I will have one infra expert who will get data from all these 3 channels, and he can decide on for me what needs to be done. Now, when you talk about AI-based careers, analysts for sure will need, robotics specialists will need prompt engineers, will need LLM experts, will need cognitive security experts. Now, cognitive security experts is a new domain evolving, where we need people who have knowledge about cognitive thinking that we are putting into an LLM. LLM are being trained on the data that we provide, and this data has to be biased. It should not be biased. So how do I make sure that I am not feeding something biased data into the machine, which is poisoning my whole data? So this is where the security expert will come into picture. Now, time up. I'll just park here for a minute, because this is something that the data professionals of work will look like. The 4 main kind of work that we'll do is data engineering, machine learning, data scientist, and data analyst. And everything has got a different skill set that is needed. For a data engineer, you have to be more on the data pipeline, databases, and machine operations. On the other hand, the analyst, which is data analyst, has to be more towards storytelling, data visualization, reporting, and business insight. So there are different skills needed for a different role. And what I see mostly is you need to have something very important in common is creative thinking, adaptability, and zeal to learn. Trust me, guys, 4 years back, I hardly use Python. I hardly use Terraform. But if you talk today, we are using it every day, everywhere. Why? Because this is how we are evolving as an industry. And this is how we are going to work. Now, this is what I have for you guys today. But coming from industry, I'll give you insight how industry is taking generative AI in IT. There are a lot of roles in IT today, like testing, like requirement analysis, which are done by humans. And today, till after 18 years in IT, I'm telling you, we always have a gap in understanding what customer is talking about in terms of requirement. What if I have a generative AI based tool where customer can themselves design on real time that this is what I want to design, and then based upon that I start coding. And coding also can be done by generative AI, whereas humans will only talk about performance. Humans will talk about reusability. Humans will talk about business logic, criticality, and how to deploy that in production. So what really is happening, a lot of redundant roles that we have today, which are repeated in nature, are going to be trained and transformed into generative AI or AI-based components. Whereas humans will still hold the key or the lever to use these tools. Okay, I think that is it from my side, guys. Any questions you have, I'm open for that. Anyone, any questions?
No, sir.
So you define everything very clearly. That's great, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. If we don't have any questions, then I think we can drop off, right?
Thank you, sir. Congratulations for delivering an exceptional webinar on AI. Your insightfulness, presentations, and expertise have illuminated the complex world on artificial intelligence, leaving our audience enlightenment and inspired. The depth of your knowledge and your ability to convey it in a clear and engaging manner truly set you apart. Your dedications to advancing the field of AI is commendable, and we have a grateful to your commitment to sharing your knowledge with others. Thank you, sir. Thanks for webinar. It's great experience to listen to you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And all the best to all of you. Thank you. Have a good day.
We look forward to more opportunities to learn more from your expertise in the future, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.